So what do you say to the people that, this objection that there aren't any examples of successful, or let's say super successful
Yeah.
internet / software companies that have adopted or used the lean startup movement, or before you called it that, the equivalent methodology or whatever?
I want to be really careful in answering this question, because one of the things I've noticed is that people who are professional experts, who go around touting some business theory, have this overwhelming temptation to co-opt every successful company to be like Southwest Airlines and Google and Coca-Cola all do my thing, and they just didn't know what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And when I used to read business books, I'd be like, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do is be really careful to say, there's a set of companies that I've had the privilege of working with who seem to have used some of these ideas and seem to be having some success. We do a conference every year called Startup Lessons Learned. We've done it 2 years in a row. And so you can look at the companies who have come to that conference to talk about how they've used the ideas, and you can judge for yourself, did they actually use the ideas? Does it make sense? So companies like Dropbox and Groupon were at our last conference, and they're pretty successful, as well as big companies like Intuit and other kind of famous people. But that's not really an answer, because how do you know at a deep level as an entrepreneur? How do you know that just because someone claims to have followed this model and that it made them rich and successful, how do you know that's actually true? How do you know there's any kind of causal link between the two? So I want the lean startup to be a scientific theory that is itself falsifiable. And what I say to people who are skeptical that it's going to work, that it has worked for other people, I'd say rather than go chase the case studies of the famous people, instead figure out how could you test some of these ideas yourself in your own company in microscale. Because the nice thing about the truth is every little part of it is self-similar to all the rest of the parts. So we make specific predictions about what will be more efficient, how to measure productivity, how to measure progress for startups. We try to put the concept of product market fit on a quantitative footing, so you can actually tell if you're getting closer to product market fit. All of those parts of the theory make very specific, like I said, falsifiable predictions that I think entrepreneurs should test for themselves.